Hi, I'm Brad Knowles, producer of Friday Night Flies, hosted by Scott LeBoldis and Scotty Holmes. Enjoy the show.
Alright, another Friday Night Flies with this guy.
Hi guys, I'm Jordan Simpson. I work at Pacific Angler, located at 78 East Broadway in Vancouver, British Columbia. I'm here today tying another saltwater fly. This one's a little more advanced, it's based on materials and techniques, but follows along the same principles as the previous one I posted. Saltwater baitfish patterns, they're fun, they're freestyle. Don't really have a name for it, but get creative, come up with your own, and follow along.
And this time he's prepped his material, so go a little smoother, a little quicker this time.
Yeah, this one won't take 20 minutes, hopefully,
yeah,
for one fly.
Kind of a good idea if you're going to do a bunch of these, prep the materials ahead of time, then you just knock them out. It's quite easy. So let's, no demo this time, we're just going to head on down and start tying. So here we go. Alright, here we go.
Alright guys, first step we're going to take our thread. We're using 3/0 thread here. When tying saltwater patterns, you do want to be durable, a little bit beefier, especially when trying to build up heads. You don't want your threads too thin, you don't want to break them, and which is seems to be a habit here on Friday Night Flies for some people. But at the same time, hook points are pretty sharp, and every now and again you do nick it, so the thicker the thread, a little more forgiving it can be. Start behind the eye of the hook.
I'm using Gamakatsu B10S size 2. Sticky hooks.
For you. Alright guys, and like in the previous video, I always start behind the eye of the hook and I build a thread base. Maybe not for all flies, this is necessary, but when I tie saltwater patterns or anything with a pretty serious body underneath, I do like the thread. Adds durability, add a couple of cross wraps there, going crossing back, and that sort of builds a base of thread for the materials to grab onto, helps stop it from spinning around. Just gonna grab that tag in and nip it off there. First step here is I'm going to be tying in some white craft fur. You'll notice with a lot of baitfish patterns, craft fur is very popular. It's sparse, it's pretty light, doesn't soak up too much water, and is really relatively inexpensive for the amount of material you're going to be using. So I'm taking my length of craft fur, here it is there, and I'm tying the tail here, right about there, and don't be scared to let it sort of splay around. I'm going to do a couple loose wraps. That allows it to splay when you tighten it. And there we go there, and I'll pull the tail a little bit, make sure it's balanced in there. Looks pretty good there, and I'll pull it up, lock down the thread wraps nice and tight to each other. And I'm going to just trim that excess there. And there we go. Wrap that down nice and tight, lock that in. Perfect. Next step, I'm going to take some Palmer Chenille medium light blue. Wapsi code is CPL 2081. That's it right there, guys. And again, I'm right-handed, so I wrap away from myself. I'll take the material and make sure it's aiming downwards, so when I wrap it forward and palmer it, it aims the right way. It cones forward versus going backwards. Just gonna tie that in right behind the tail. I'll lock that in right there. I'm gonna fix that there. There we go. Perfect. I'm gonna advance my thread forward a little ways. I'm just gonna palmer it. Again, don't need to rush it when you're figuring this out. And you're going to take material, make sure it's aiming back, and tease it backwards. Now, I'm going to do it pretty sparse. You'll see that I am going to sort of space out the wraps a bit. Don't need too much of it, it just adds bulk. So I will space out the wraps pretty loose there. Wrap through for a little bit there. Tie that off right about there. And I know that looks like I still got a lot of hook shank left. I do. I need room for my fish skull, my fish mask there. So I'm gonna tie that off there. So I'd say it's about 2/3 up the shank from where the bend starts. My last wrap, of course, wrapping in front I remember that from the last video. That helps lock in your material and allows you, if you come in front of it, to start wrapping it back and naturally builds a cone shape. Cool, lock down, trim the excess, set it aside for some more flies. Get my fingers, sort of tease it back, tie it off. There we go, it's pretty simple there. Next step, I'm going to be taking a little bit of UV Polar Snail Olive Copper UV. That's PCU V275. That's it right there, guys.
This stuff's pretty deadly for coho flies too.
Yeah, copper and olive, one of my favorite colors for coho. And I cut off a fair length just for easy handling. I'm literally going to be doing one wrap of that. Probably once around, and that's pretty much it. I'll lock that in. Splay it out. Remember that whole right hand wrapping forward deal. I'm literally just going to do that. And then wrap in front, actually once, so it palmers, and then once in front, and that's literally it. I know it looks messy, but we're going to be coning that back a little bit too. It's pretty easy there. I'd wrap that back. All that does is add a little bit of darkness to that blue. Pretty easy. Make sure that's all nice there. Spin that around a little bit. Tease the fibers around. Tie it off again. There we go there, guys. And then, if you guys remember in that last video, we're going to do what's called tying in backwards. So, nothing fancy. I prepared some craft fur again. Stuff's just going to go backwards, the clump. Wrap that around the hook a little bit. Hold it. Loose wraps. And then I'm going to tighten the wraps. And that allows it to splay around. That bulk there, those back ends there, I'm going to leave because I want to build up bulk for putting on the fish mask afterwards. Helps use less glue. So that's there, and I wrap that back. Again, wetting my fingers a little bit. If you had a bowl of water, you could do that. I'm just going to tease it backwards.
Did you want a bowl of water?
No, that's alright. I think I can get it here. There you go. You're going to tease it backwards. There you go. It's pretty neat there. Make sure that's even all the way around. Yeah, it looks good.
It's pretty good. It's crazy how that stuff just creates a veil like that.
Yeah.
I know Brad's been taking notes from your flies from last week and actually went out and loaded up on craft fur this week.
It's cheap and it works, and a little bit goes a long way.
It's a cool material.
The next material I'm using is UV Minnow Belly from Hairline Dubbing. It's UMB. It's pretty easy. UV Minnow Belly. UMB. That's it right there, guys. When it comes out of the package, all the ends are pretty even, so I'll take it, and I already pre-done this. I'll split the package in half, and I'll sort of pull it together, match it back and forth, and pull it together, so the ends aren't as even. They're sort of all off and tapered here and there, but they're not uniform. We're going to take that tie it on the top. And again, the bulk's okay near the front because we're putting on a fish mask. Tie that like that. Bend it down underneath. You can always shape it afterwards. There we go there. sure that's even. Looks pretty good.
That looks killer. Kind of see it veiling that whole fly.
Catch that there. Pretty easy. Next up, we're almost done here. I'm gonna add a lateral line. Right now for lateral line, I'm using Flashabou Magnum. Number's 3406. It's that there. It's a little wider than your standard Flashabou that you get for tying steelhead flies and baitfish patterns. Really good for doing lateral lines. So that's that there. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna start on the side closest to me. I'll show you on the other side. I'm gonna do it probably about almost right to the end of the tail where he tied in that tail fiber, but not quite. And you'll see on the other side when I rotate it here. I'm gonna tie that in. So that's that there, guys. We're gonna tie that in. I'm gonna trim this side here.
You're not a fan of pulling it over and across, are you?
No, I like to just do this. I do it the hard way.
But you could if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could if you wanted to. Just gonna cut that there. There you go there.
Brad, you got to get yourself a rotary vise, buddy. Once you go rotary, you don't go back. Makes working with stuff like this a breeze.
Perfect.
Looking good.
That's that. We're almost done. I'm just going to take a little bit of green craft fur that I've already prepared. And if you are curious how I prepared it, I take a peek at the last video. You'll see how I sort of separate it and thin it out, and helps reduce bulk. Alright guys, so here's the prepared bunch of craft fur. And we're just going to take it, and again tying it in backwards. I'm gonna take that clump, semi-loose wraps, not too loose. I don't want to spin it all the way around, but I definitely do want to make sure it wraps at least half around. There you go. Now I'm gonna take it, and that back part's okay because remember we're gonna try to build bulk up for that fish mask we're putting on. Do out your fingers if you want. Just gonna tease it backwards.
Have you tried the Davey McPhail trick where he takes a blow dryer to it?
No.
That's an interesting one. I've seen him doing with fox fur and stuff like
Actually,
that.
be a good idea. I've seen people use like straws and stuff, and they just sort of force it over the eye of the hook, and it naturally pushes back. That's pretty much it there, guys. That's almost done. Again, of course, we can always shape it afterwards. Get a couple whip finishes there. If you want to learn how to whip finish, don't ask me. Watch YouTube videos.
That's how I did it. It took me about 2 hours of watching them and doing it at the same time, but
I
eventually
literally
got it.
Just use my fingers. So that's the fly there for the most part, almost done. Just going to clean it up a little bit there.
Careful when you're doing that, these hooks are sharp.
When you tease it back, you'll see the fibers naturally start to stick out a little bit here and there. That's okay. But where I really want to clean it up, before I clean it up and finish it, is going to be near the back. You see the odd random hairs that creep out.
Hold it down just a little bit further. There we go.
And you see I'm never cutting blunt ends. And if you ever need to thin it, you can always cut from the back into it like that.
Down a bit?
You just cut into it backwards like this.
Gotcha.
That'll help thin it out like that. But you never cut blunt ends. You guys going back into the vise there. We're using fish masks. I have a package of them right here from Fish Skull. Fish mask number 7, that size there. I find it matches a number 2 hook pretty good. That being said, there's no right or wrong. You can do whatever you want. I've taken some eyes using these guys here, 7/32. They're a little smaller than the mask. I like to fill around the eye with glue. So that's them there. And this is the mask here that I've already sort of pre-done.
You can use that last clump of
one of them. And that's it there, guys. So I'm going to take that here. I'm going to use Liquid Fusion. It's not a fly tying specific glue. We sell it at the shop. You can buy it at Michael's. You can buy it at, I don't think, the dollar store. It's pretty good stuff. But you can use it for a lot of things. It's not a fly tying specific glue, but it is one of the best glues for fly tying. I've glued the lid on.
Sticky stuff. Watch your fingers.
So I'm just going to take the Liquid Fusion here. And I'm going to build a little bit of a ball right where I wrap the thread. And it's okay if it goes over the eye of the hook because you'll clear it out in a moment. It's not too important. You want to make sure everything's covered. So don't worry about the eye too much. The biggest thing is getting a fair clump. I know this looks messy. You gotta trust me. I'm gonna rotate this around. Perfect. One thing I'll also do to myself is pour some of the Liquid Fusion into the mask as well. Why I do that is I want to make sure it really grabs onto the craft fur. Oh, there's a lot in there, that's good. And I'm probably going to push a lot of it out the front, which is fine. That means I know
it's not going in there.
It's going to stay put.
So there a right and a wrong way to put these things on?
No. And you're going to see a lot of excess glue come out. That's alright. Because I want to use that actually on the front and the bottom. Block through. Yeah. I'm going to rotate that. It's a little messy. You can do it cleaner if you want, but trust me, you will want that Liquid Fusion to spill out. I won't. You can see a lot at the top. Take that. Drag that around just behind the fish mask. I'm actually going to build like looks like a bead of, let's say, caulking for doing a sink or something. I'm going to go right around. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it's a little more advanced, but it's not hard.
Pause for a sec.
And then once you do that, you're going to take your needle and you're just going to hold it tight. You're going to brush back a little bit. It'll dry clear, so don't worry.
Probably helps to shape that body a little bit too, eh?
Yeah. And that's in there like that. So it's on there good. Some real good fusion. I'm just gonna coat the eye. And where I put in the eye, I'm just going to fill around the eye. Helps lock it in. That's that there. Tease that back a bit. Clean out the eye. Liquid Fusion is water soluble, so it is nice for cleaning up. Also nice for cleaning. And that's pretty much it there, guys. We're almost done. Take a green Sharpie. And we talked about in the last video how you can custom mark them. And your marks don't need to be perfect. It'll help with camouflage if they're not. That's pretty much it there. And then just underneath some red. Be careful not to hit the glue. You notice I used red eyes right in front of the hook point. I'm going to use red as well.
Kind of a hot spot.
Yeah.
Trigger point. And guys, or gals, and in the water when you strip it. That minnow belly cooperates.
Yeah.
There we go. That's it there, guys. That is deadly.
Pretty easy. I've used this technique in this fly for a couple different warm water trips I've gone on. It works. It's once you get the hang of it, it's pretty quick actually. I tied a little slower for the video. Prep all your materials, and you always do the head, tie a bunch of bodies first, tie a bunch of eyes, get them prepped, and then do the heads afterwards. And that's that there, guys. And
cool.
Yeah.
Let's head on up and give a final sign out.
Alright guys, yeah, that's the end of the fly there. It's pretty simple, like I said. Just take a little bit of practice to get the proportions right and handling of materials. This fly here, like I said, is a simple pattern. You don't need to get too crazy with it. I've used it down in Mexico, I've used it in Hawaii, I've used it in Florida. I've caught Snook, Tarpon, I've caught Tuna on it. It's quite durable once it's finished there. It's easy, and when it's catching, let's say, skipjack bonito, which are toothy, You are going to go through a few of these, and it's nice that you don't have to spend a lot of time or a lot of money on different materials, besides craft fur, which is pretty cheap already. And yeah, it's durable, it's easy to cast, doesn't hold water, pretty translucent, which is a big thing I talked about last video. And tied in different colors, different ways. Be good for bull trout, salmon, be good for pretty much anything. Bass too, if you tie, let's say, with a weighted fish skull mask, you'd give nice jiggy action, and bass would definitely go crazy on that. So experiment, have fun, guys, and yeah, that's it there. That's my episode of Friday Night Flies.
Cool. Go check him out at Pacific Angler, as it says on his shirt there. It's a good guy, good group of guys there.
Yeah,
so definitely go check him out.
Yeah, come on in and say hi. If you have any questions or about materials or patterns, or just need some help, you've been trying to tie this, can't quite get it, come on in, come see me, and I'll be more than to help you out. Give us a ring or just come on in. Alrighty, have a good one.